Here we go.
Just sack Rahn.
Gonna.
Oh, unless it's double noise, you know.
We're very
Nothing too bad.
Rahn.
Rahn, you're late again.
So you're in Melbourne, Cam?
I am, mate. Yeah. So still locked down. So
How many weeks of lockdown is that for you guys now?
fuck, I don't know. I think we've had 2 weeks of freedom since March.
Stop counting
Jesus.
weeks, start counting years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rahn, you're late as
Pretty much.
usual.
So.
Fucking hell, what happened there?
Excellent. Well, welcome to episode 11.
11.
I can't believe we're past double digits, so we're past the 10. So, welcome to episode 11 of the Training Logs podcast. I've got really shit internet today, so it's probably going to break up quite a bit. But we've had a fucking complete shit show. Luke Reynolds has got the time wrong. The time. So we've got Colm Wolfman over in New Zealand. We've also got Rahn Deuis, but we actually thought it was 2 p.m. Melbourne time, but it's actually 10 a.m. Melbourne time. So we've had to just jump on. Luke's in the car at Officeworks, and Rahn's left the Lord on Smoko. So, but Colm, you're obviously organised, mate. You're a professional. You've done these sorts of things before, no doubt. So, what do you got today, mate? Got some front squats.
What's that?
Got some front squats today.
Yep. So I've just started recently after New Zealand's Strongest Man, working with Will Crozier at Nexus as well. So I've been working with Mickey for a while through the diet. So I figured I've been wanting to get some coaching from him for a while because they work quite well together. So he's got me doing sets of 8 front squats today. So something I wouldn't normally do because 8s on front squats. Not nice. But yeah, but it's only up to a 6 or 7 RPE, so it shouldn't be. That's still going to suck, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go.
So
I'll do one of my sets.
Yeah, go for it, man. Yep, go for it. So what's a 6 RPE like, Rahn?
Look, I gave up on that shit.
I remember this from episode 6.
I gave up on that shit. Hey, me and Colm are wearing the same getup.
Yeah.
Bit
Cerberus.
Yeah, except Colm's is like a 25 XL and yours is a small child's one.
Yes, it's like my dad's jumper.
Oh, that's a good idea for some arse merch. Derperus.
Derperus. Our number 1 worst fan.
Yeah. So that 140 or 170 already?
40.
They look like 20s.
Yeah.
What have I missed? I was up the street
Nothing.
having a coffee and fuck. Oh, okay.
140.
Just me sitting in my car apologising for being a twat.
Where are you at Officeworks?
Yeah, I was going to get a whiteboard.
I think you guys will probably just hear a lot of my heavy breathing today.
Ooh, that's what we like.
Yeah, that's par for course on this show.
So every time Colm heavy breathes, we have a beer.
What's that for? What are you doing that every time?
Every time you breathe heavy.
Every time I breathe heavy, you'll constantly be drinking.
Rahn will be in the hospital later. So, Colm, you had New Zealand's Strongest Man 3 weeks ago?
Yep. It must be 3 weeks ago now.
Yep. So what you came second there behind a rampaging Matt Ragg.
Yep.
Who's in lifetime form, and that was your first major comeback really after your tricep reattachment. How do you feel about the comp, man?
I was pretty happy, overall with my strength.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like I lacked that bit of polish on the event. But all things considered, there's not really much I could have done. This place, I'll give you a quick look. Yep. This gym is just opening up soon. So we got a lane down the end there that we'll be able to do strongman training and stuff.
Sick.
So leading up to New Zealand's, I was mainly doing barbell work in that, but And then I'd go down to Auckland to do the events when I can. But everyone's, it's all good. Everyone's kind of in the same boat this year with COVID, like just get in what you can. We had a second lockdown, like, I think we had a good 6 weeks training, like going up to New Zealand. So there was that shorter second lockdown. But yeah, like everyone was on the same boat. And it's just one of those things, like with Strongman, you always just have to adapt to anything.
Yeah.
And like at the same time, it was still better than like you've competed a lot internationally as well. Like the flights and that, the change in sleep takes a lot more out of you than
definitely
just competing locally. So
definitely, yeah, big time. It was so New Zealand's Strongest Man. We'll start on this anyway. It was an absolute cracking lineup this year because they had the past 9 years of champions, all of you 3 times champion, you, Stan Cocker, and Matt Ragg. And it's the first time all 3 of you since those titles have all gone head to head. So it was like a reckoning, really. It was really cool to have all 3 of you maniacs in there at the same time.
Yeah, it was definitely good. And it was a really good events for it. Like 8 events. 8 events is always good.
Yeah.
4 on each day. I feel like quite lucky that when I started with New Zealand's, we always started with 8 events there. So it kind of got me somewhat used to it. Like it's still hard doing 5 events in one day or whatever, but just having that bit of experience doing it there. And the weights were really heavy this year as well. That was the other thing.
Yeah,
but,
that was New Zealand's historically has been a tough comp because of the 2-day format with the 8 events and quite a drawn out process. But this year it was because of the seeking the Arnold qualifications and those sort of things, the weight skyrocketed probably up where they should be anyway, because to be honest, the talent in New Zealand has gone through the roof at the moment. It's fucking, you guys probably have taken us, to be fair. You guys are really in strong position at the minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of strong guys. It would have been good. Like there's a lot of guys as well who are kind of on that cusp of, like they've been competing a few years. And I think there's a lot of guys with potential here, but like with that amateur scene, I kind of see 2 main mistakes is people either competing too often, but the other thing, like I'm seeing a lot more of now, is guys competing not often enough. Yeah. Like they'll do a few comps and then want to take off like a year or even 2 years to get their static strength up when I really think those first few years, if you get as many comps in under your belt as possible, just to get all that like event experience. And it's not like you have to go 100% at every single comp. Like if let's say you do, like multiple comps in a row and they've all got max deadlift, like just aim to max at the most important one. Yeah. But yeah, that's something I'd like to see, is a lot of these those sort of guys competing more often. Because at the top, there was a lot of like us 3 was a very strong lineup, but I think there's a really strong middle pack that was kind of missing. Yeah. So that's something I would like to see in the future. I think they'll get heaps out of it as well. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, because the 4 of us here are actually very experienced guys that have done a lot of competitions, but and it's a difference we've discussed before of knowing, not just competing, but knowing how to compete, and especially those multi-day events, where you've got to be able to perform for one event, then come back down, come back up to peak arousal for your second event, and forget about the first event. That's done. Deal with it later, whatever happened, and then move to your second one. Make sure you've got all the right equipment and ready to go, and do that sort of on autopilot, and then be able to come down after that, rest, and then back up for your next one, and do that 8 times over 2 days. You can't just walk into that kind of thing. That takes a lot of time to learn that, Definitely. And like, even if someone tells you what to do, it's just not the same as actually experiencing it.
Big time.
And having those nerves and being able to harness and channel that excitement, but then shut it down in time for the next event and build that up. Exactly.
Yeah. Like we, that last comp that me and Luke did together, like I remember us looking, there was a young guy, like in the warm-ups, just getting really hyped up for his warm-ups. Yeah. And then he went up to his opener or something, or heavier than his opener. And
Yeah, in the log lift, he wanted to go up, like basically hit his opener twice in the warm-ups to make sure he could get it. And me and Colm were nearly asleep laying down over to the side. And he's come out, we were that relaxed, and he's come out and he's zeroed it 3 times. Like he was out, and that was it. And it was that was just an experience thing.
Yeah, exactly, experience. So if he, at least, I mean, he made the mistake, but at least he'll know for next time.
There's the lesson, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Wow, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
You don't. So there's max deadlift and a max log as well, Colm.
Yep, there was.
Yeah, that's pretty taxing when you've got 6 events to come, isn't it?
Yeah, I better just do another set.
Do it, brother. Yeah, you train at your pace.
I think I will use this.
Need him to get a stool or a fucking seat or something,
or a tripod.
or a fucking crane. That's a massive human trying to get off the ground.
Have we determined if there's a rowing machine in that building?
Not yet. I didn't pay attention to that. Are they rowing machines in the background over there?
There's bikes.
Okay.
There's a rower there. You can see
Rower.
that.
Ooh,
Yeah, right.
I haven't dropped that bomb on him yet.
Well, front
Ah,
speed,
bomb.
that can't affect your rowing too much.
He doesn't have Bluetooth headphones either, so he
just
can't hear us like Allison.
Just put the rowing handle in your front rack and just.
Dude, Colm will probably tear the chain out of the fucking rower.
That's what we want
Yeah.
to see.
He's literally as big or bigger than Brian Shaw.
That is a very white, like brightly lit gym. Like
It's
most
red,
strongman powerlifting gyms are like real grungy and got shit lighting and
Oh, it's because the owners are all bums and can't be paying for fucking electricity.
so we've got tripod on the camera now. Plate loader is retired. We've got tripod.
This is his New Zealand cousin. Yeah, so this is a brand new gym. We'll get Colm to talk us through it, but this is why he sort of pushed us back about a month on doing podcasts, because he's been training the commercial gyms up till now, and then this was opening, so he was like, wait until we open this, and then I'm like, yeah, fucking A.
You reckon he can actually fit through those doors that are behind him? Just have a look at the scale of it when he stands.
It's actually just the size of his torso.
You need like cutouts for his delts to fit through the fucking door, and then one for his head at the top. What's he got on there now? He's put more weight on.
160.
160.
160. That'll be my top.
Who's on the camera? There's a chair.
Hi, team.
Hey,
Love it.
Oh, tripod.
I think that's pretty. I'm pretty sure that's his coach.
Is it? We'll get him on. Get the cameo on.
He's I feel like shit because I forget his name, but he's the one that the coach Colm through that powerlifting meet last year when he hit like 960 in his first powerlifting meet.
What was that?
So what's your name, brother? I forget.
Is there a third person?
Oh, Joe Whittaker's my name. And the first one.
Oh, hey, lads. So you're the one that coached Colm through the powerlifting meet last year, weren't you?
No, I ran him at the powerlifting meet. I didn't coach him. I think he was coached through Aussie Strength Coach, but I went down on the day. Yeah.
Yeah, handled him because he hit like a 960 total in one of his first powerlifting meets, right?
We went 967. He bet my total by 0.5 of a kilo or something stupid.
Oh, that's a bit rude.
Yeah. It's Colm reckons with easier rules. So. Yeah.
No, good stuff.
So, where is this gym? Whereabouts in New Zealand? Where are you guys located?
Up in Whangarei, so we're about 2 hours north of Auckland.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, I've it's quite nice up there because I did the New Zealand heavy events in 2011 up at Waipu there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're pretty much here, 20 minutes, 30 minutes north from there. So it's not far at all. Yeah, no, definitely nice.
Lovely. Love it. It's a great area. Yeah, big time.
We'll get you back to the big man.
Just try not to cry.
That's a drink, Ryan.
oh yeah, right. Here we go. Yeah.
You're the only one that can.
on.
Drink some water.
I'll just drink a lot of water.
Are you training, Cam?
To Right now or today?
Yeah. Well, you look like you're in training gear.
This is just my work gear because I'm working from home. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, speaking of, Colm, what do you do? What do you do for work, mate?
I'm a personal trainer, so like this morning I was taking the group classes, that sort of thing, and then I also do coaching online for Strongman. Those are the two things at the moment.
Yeah, beautiful.
Love it.
How do you go?
It's quite different. Like I've worked a lot on like strength and conditioning and that years ago before I moved to Aussie the first time, but working now with the general pop people in person has just taken me a little. It's good. It's just getting my mindset to see how they think of things. It's a bit of a challenge at first. Whereas all the online clients, they're always so self-motivated and they're ready to do. Whereas that general population, sometimes it's almost like you have to trick them into starting a good habit, and then once it's become a habit, they can keep doing it. But yeah, just telling them straight up sometimes can seem to be a bit daunting to them, which it's a different mindset.
Definitely, man. It's actually something I'm encountering at the moment with a couple of people I'm training. I have a couple of, I've got strength athletes, but I've also got a couple of normal people, normal people, if you like, as well. And the same approach doesn't work. You can't just come at them like they're an athlete.
Yeah.
It sucks. Fuck you. See ya.
Yeah.
Cool. So this gym here, sorry, Ron. This gym here is brand new, Colm. This week you pushed us back. You pushed us back a couple of weeks because you were waiting for this one to open. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's like it's not officially open yet. Well, it's officially open, but it's it's the first of its kind up here. There's nothing else like it, which is pretty cool. Like that's why I was having to drive down to Auckland to use the Strongman gear and that. But
it's open for podcasts.
What's that?
Didn't say a word.
Oh.
Yeah, that was weird. Something definitely got said. I don't know.
It's Godzilla from the Tasmania gym. Remember who was screaming last week? That was just I'd come off my meds for a bit. Ryan, go for your life, buddy.
Ask a question, Ryan, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so you're training now. You're obviously doing some volume work with your front squats and stuff like that. What are you leading into? What's your next comp? What have you got coming up?
Definitely not IPF words for me, but there's probably February, like there's County Strongest Man, which is another local comp. Like I'm really, I'm starting to get back in good shape. I'm really itching to do one of the overseas ones again, but it's just not much can do about it. So probably February. And now working with Will, he's got me doing a bit of a hypertrophy phase. But still, this is actually the first week of doing it, so it's still early days and taking it easy. Yeah. He's also got me doing a lot of, like I was saying to the guys, because I've been doing my own programming for the last year or so, I always write up my program of all these things I know I need to be doing, such as single leg work or different kind of shoulder mobility stuff. Then I'll do my main exercise, and then it'll be, I'll just leave. So now, because I've got Will doing it, like I've actually been doing all that stuff, which is good. Yeah.
Someone to adhere to.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone to be accountable to, brother.
Yeah.
That's
fine. When you're paying for a service, you may as well get value out of it. So.
Yeah. Definitely.
And is Will programming Strongman like event training, or is this kind of purely powerlifting focus for you at the minute?
Mainly lifting focus. So at the moment, he's got it in, because I said to him for this next phase, I wouldn't really do any event training over like a 6 or a 7 RPE anyway. So he's got a day, kind of an events day where I do kind of scaled down stuff. So like instead of doing a farmer's walk, it'll be a suitcase carry, and then I'll do like skill work on stones or monster dumbbell, that sort of thing. So I'm still training the movement, but it's not going to be heavy. Like I'll be building up the strength with the barbells and dumbbells, and then just trying to maintain that technique. the strongman implements.
It's funny once you get to a certain level, and it's something Alana's sort of taught me, because obviously same as you. I was working with Mark for a couple of years there as well, but before that I was always programming myself. And once you're at a certain level of proficiency, training the events is more of a skills practice. Once you get closer to a competition, it doesn't necessarily have to be included all the time. Whereas when you're training newbies and stuff, you need to have that in there more because they're still not proficient at the skill set. But at the level sort of we're all competing at now, the events can be slotted in, 6 weeks out as a familiarization phase more than anything. After your strength work, you know what I mean?
For sure. And it's like what sort of Colm said before around finding that sweet spot of enough competitions versus spending enough time in the gym. And you're right, I think you need to probably do a whole bunch of comps, do as many Strongman Saturday sessions as you can, get exposed to as many implements as you can, develop that skill set, and then you can spend your time doing powerlifting middle of the week, or through the week, do a strongman events Saturday and exactly that, maintain your skill. So once you've acquired the skill, you maintain it. And then it's just about getting stronger to then express that skill set as best you can.
Big time.
It definitely feels like once you reach a certain point, doing the actual events close to the comp weights, it just takes away more than it gives in terms of recovery. Like it's going to, let's say the week's training, you've got, even say 80% on deadlifts, but you're also trying to do 80% on yoke. That's just extra volume that's going to take away, like depending on the person, obviously. Biggie used to smash those heavy yokes like every week. For me, I find if I go heavy on yoke, like there's no way I can go heavy on deadlifts or even squat that same week. So it's, finding that balance, but still trying to train the movement, but without taking away too much in terms of recovery.
Yeah, I remember on the yoke thing, I remember Terry Holland saying years ago, he was lightning fast with 1,000-pound yokes back in the day. And I remember reading about the way he would train, and he wouldn't do anything but speed runs with 300, 320. Just all the time, practicing that footwork and fast footwork. And then just because he was strong enough, he's pulling 450 and things like that. He didn't need to be carrying 1,000-pound yokes in the gym all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like yokes specifically, unless it is mega heavy, it's usually a drag race, or it's only going to be a few tenths of a second. So spending time and doing 10 starts versus 5 full runs, so do 10 half goes, that's going to be so much better for you in terms of your reaction speed, having tension on the yoke at the whistle and to get going.
Well, this is it. How often do you see these new guys that, obviously social media probably plays a part in some ego and all the rest of it, and we've all been guilty of it at some point, but you'll see guys that are barely squatting 200 kilos and they're in the gym trying to do 500 kilo pickups on yokes and things like that. It's like, man, are you trying to go to the spinal ward? Because that's insane.
Yeah, it's not going to make them stronger, really.
No. Colm, you train at your rate, Colm. Don't worry about us, brother.
Sweet. Not that I want
the time factor as well. The time factor as well, I reckon, with events training plays into it. Like, dragging out all the plates and stuff for yoke walks and things like that.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I just find you could be doing accessories which will give you.
You don't do accessories anyway.
Yeah. Well, you do just shitloads of side raises.
That's all my training is accessories.
putting weights back.
Yeah, well, not everyone can have a plate loader. That's the problem.
Yeah,
mate. See, this is the elite.
Colm's
the top
got
guys
two.
we've have fucking plate loaders.
Yeah, plate loader, tripod guy.
Yeah, see, Colm's like super elite, 2 times world's strongest man competitor. He's even got a dude holding his tripod. All right, what's on there now?
I reckon that's 2.
Yeah. And a misload.
Bit of a misload.
And a misload.
Clint's in the gym. 3 plate loaders, and we're misloading.
Fucking hell.
I think it's more the podcast influence, mate.
Yeah,
we're bad
track. I don't think I could do these zombie front rack what is it, like California bodybuilder style? Yeah.
This is a style that fucking Rongo squats 300 like that.
Yeah, that's like, or you like fucking Jezza.
Yeah, and
Like
same as,
squatting 400 something front squat. Like,
yeah, it's the same as Warwick Brand. He used to do it like this. He'd do 800 pounds. He's just like, dude, how the fuck is that even staying there?
yeah, like because obviously front squatting, your thoracic strength is going to do, but then have no hands or no tension on it. How much more then kind of like
trying to just
the
drive
front raise?
Bums.
Yeah.
Hey, is it I just want to try to connect the sound to the Bluetooth speaker here, so I can hear you more.
Yeah. We're just sledging you while you squat anyway, so up to you.
Yeah, go for it, Colm. Don't listen to Cam's bullshit.
I'll give it a go.
Cam's a snack for you, bro. You can eat him.
There's good shot.
Yeah, where's Dermy?
Oh, fuck, I've got to remember. I've got
That's heavy breathing right now.
Rahn will be passed out in a minute.
Having flashbacks of Dan Macri stuffing us in the back of a boot. Who wants to drop the Who wants to drop the roll?
Yeah, I think that's Luke's job.
Oh, thanks for that.
Hey, well, you fucked today up.
Yep. That's my punishment for fucking run the slope. Fucking hell. All right, so I got questions from a bunch of idiots.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking all that.
All right.
Can't hear you, Colm. Oh, there we go. I can hear you.
This is like the longer episode where we had no sound for 10 minutes.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Turn it up.
He stopped breathing, I think.
I'll have to take over heavy breathing duties again.
Gooch Cam.
Am I back?
Yeah.
There we go.
No, they're gone.
We can hear you.
And so it's amazing.
What about now?
I love this. Like, there you go. I love the view like that because you can see the emotion in people's face, going like, "What the fuck is this technology doing?"
Like, they hate Zoom as much as we do.
It was worth a shot. It didn't work.
Sorry, brother.
That's
all good.
That's all right. We'll just talk up.
How many sets you got left there, Colm?
One more set of front squats, and then dumbbell press, and might have a go. Are you serious about the I have a go at deadlifting this mini.
All fitting into them.
You're fitting in probably be harder. But
like a fucking mini, like an actual car.
Yeah.
This gym's fucking awesome.
Jesus.
Wow. That's fucking amazing. Dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't think you're going to have a lot of trouble deadlifting that, Colm.
I'll show you.
Looks like one of his shoes.
What the fuck?
Tell me you drove that to the gym this morning.
Jesus, that's the old trying to stuff a tent in the tent bag trick.
Yeah, let's go on, Joe. Get it.
Are you making?
Yeah, get that other massive.
Yeah, what's that mini load rated to?
It's literally about.
What's the load rating on the mini?
In there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McGilla Gorilla.
Oh, that is the best.
Toot.
The parrot. The size of the parrot.
Give us a woo-woo all aboard.
Give us an all aboard, Colm. Yell it out.
All aboard, Colm.
Jesus.
The fucking size of them pair.
Imagine if he got stuck.
Dude, it looks like he is.
I don't reckon Colin could get in that car cold. I reckon he'd have to warm up for that.
He's had to do some front squats just to get in there.
Yeah, that's. I'll be more heavy breathing now after that.
All day.
What's that?
That's your hardest set for the whole session, brother, getting in and out of the
Yeah,
car.
I think that was closer to 10 RP, so Will might not be happy.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. So whose mini is it?
Yeah.
Look at that back. Massive.
How much does the mini weigh?
I don't know.
Less than the blokes that were in it.
See?
This is literally about 500 kilos a person in there.
Yeah.
So, Colm, can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I'll just pull you a little closer.
Yep. Good, Cam. So what did you weigh in at for New Zealand Strongest, mate? What are you weighing at the moment?
I was 168 there, and I'm 164 and a half in the mornings now. They get me to take a morning weight every morning after using the bathroom. Yep. So on the day, I think I would have been like 166, something like that, and then obviously after breakfast or the fluids, 68.
That's probably the lightest you've competed at for a while, right? You used to compete up over 170-ish.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. You've been coming out quite a bit leaner this year as well, haven't you? You're working with a nutritionist.
Yeah. So it's with Nexus Performance. So it's Mickey, Wescombe, Will's partner, and I've been working with her pretty much since once I tore the arm. I was sort of like, I knew I wouldn't be able to do any heavy training for a while, so I figured I need to still work on something. So I was like, I need to sort out my nutrition, like long term. I was kind of thinking, like around then, I was thinking where I want to be, sort of around the age of 34 or 35, when I'll probably like stop strongman somewhere around there. So I was like, by the time I'm there, I need to have my diet sorted out. That was a big thing, and sleep and that. And then so I started working with her then. And it's been good. Like there's some, like it's mainly overhead that is still not quite back where I was. I think it's more due to the arm than the body weight. But the other thing is even back when I remember at ASM, you sent me that pic yesterday. I would have been
2015.
Over 180 then, and I felt fine. Like I said I felt fine, but it wasn't actually until I dropped the weight, I was like, man, I feel quite a lot different now, even though I'm still breathing heavy. But...
Well, you're still a large fucking person. Fuck me, dude. It's mainly you looking at you now. It's you're a little bit older, so there's a bit more maturity about your look with your muscle, but it's definitely a big body composition shift there. You were fucking gigantic at 2015 Australia's Strongest Man. It's probably the biggest you ever were, but you're definitely a lot leaner now.
Yeah, it's good. The other thing I like when I was looking at it all, I felt like I was trying to play too much of that just that mass, like static strength kind of guy, because I like Big Z was always my favorite, so I wanted to be like that, just get massive, just have insane static strength. But what first got me success in strongman wasn't actually being like statically strong, it was being able to move quick. So I kind of got stronger statically, but at the same time lost a bit of movement, and I got better overall, but didn't like it. It's kind of like I lost what brought me to the dance in the first place.
Yeah, it's hard to strike a balance, especially as a super. It's funny. I feel like shit at my biggest when I get super strong, but again, I lose some of that athletic ability. I can't move as fast. My foot speed suffers. Even setting up for deadlifts. Even the other day, I'm larger now than I was a month ago at the top end of this strength cycle. So my strength is up, but I'm not setting up my deadlift as nicely as I was a month ago because I'm fucking bigger, and it sucks. But in the off season, if you like, when I let my weight come down under 160, I'm probably close to 170 at the moment. I feel a lot better. I sleep better. I can breathe better. You know, just a bit more normal. So yeah, definitely.
Do you use a CPAP?
No. Do you?
Yep, I've just started recently. So that was another thing I wanted to sort out is sleep. It's definitely made a difference for me.
It's an issue I need to address because I'm having sleep issues at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Two lightweights sitting there going, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, look, to be fair, I'm sleeping a little bit different. Only 5 kilos heavier than I traditionally sit at. So, and again, it's all relative. It takes a little bit for your body to, come to sort of homeostasis again. So, but Colm, what was your sort of journey and background into strongman? How did you sort of get that sort of first exposure to it, way back when?
So I was at uni, and at the time I was actually doing MMA, and I'd been doing it for a while. And there was a lecturer there at uni who ran a strongman club, Justin Keogh. Do you know him?
I know Justin. Yep.
Yeah. So he was at AUT. He was one of my lecturers. He was always badgering me like, "Oh, you should have a go at this, have a go." And I did like a little bit of farmers and that, and I really liked it. But it wasn't until I started working at the gym there, and it was an evening shift. So back then, like the only MMA classes were in the evening, so I couldn't do that. So I was like, I'll just, and I was dieting hard. Like I was basically trying to get lean to impress girls. That's ultimately what it was.
What was your body weight around that time period?
So the lightest, I was this weight for like a few hours. I got down to 104.8.
Oh, yes, under 105.
I'm heavier than that.
But I had also done a little bit of powerlifting before that, and my bench went from 170 down to 140. And I remember even like being leaner, it just felt shit that I could no longer bench 170. So I was like, that's it. I'm just going to go to the strongman. And like, as Luke knows, I love to eat, and my weight just like ballooned. And I couldn't go to the MMA classes anymore because I was working. So I just got into strongman and went from there, basically.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lucky came to strongman because you're one of the most talented athletes I've ever had.
So with your like doing powerlifting, sort of what age were you when you sort of first got exposed to that? And did you play rugby or anything, or any of the sports sort of prior to that as a junior?
Like, no, I played rugby casually at school, like at lunchtime and that, but I was just too lazy. Like I never was on the first 15 or did any kind of structured training. Like I was just into video games and was basically really fat. I think I started powerlifting when I was like, I think 19. I was doing powerlifting and doing MMA, and I kind of like juggled them both for a bit and just was not that good at either. But like MMA, I competed a couple times, and what my first one kind of set the stage. So my first fight I lost, it was amateur rules. So there was no punching to the head on the ground, but otherwise everything goes. So standing up, everything goes. And I was like young, cocky, and there was a few things like I was worried about. I really didn't want to fight someone who's taller than me, really didn't want to get slammed. And I was still self-conscious, like about taking my shirt off. And then all three things happened. And I didn't want to gas up. There was a guy taller than me. First thing that happens, he picks me up and slams me. And then, I had to take my shirt off in front of the whole crowd. So it kind of set, like, from that, I thought, like, oh no, everything, I really didn't want to lose. Everything's over. But I kind of learned young, like, you just get on with it. It really doesn't matter. Like, nobody cares, ultimately. Yep. So now, like, when I do strongman and that, I have that kind of experience where it's like, I'll give it everything I can, but I always know, like, win or lose, you just got to pick yourself up and get going again. Which it was good to learn that, like, being young.
Absolutely.
Face your fears straight up.
Well, yeah, getting your ass kicked will do that real quick, won't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of newbies need an ass kicking, not necessarily literally like you copped in MMA, but Just a bit of a humbling early on, because I think social media has turned people into pretend superstars a little bit earlier than they really, they need that humbling.
Definitely a lot of that now.
Yep.
I'll just do my last set.
Good, brother.
Yeah, hurry up, mate.
Oh,
yeah, chop, fuck you. Good shots. Pair of giants in that fucking mini. That's a podcast highlight, mate. That's brilliant.
Now we're just going to get his ass on that rower.
Joe is not a small human either. That's a large man.
So they reckon 1970s Cooper Mini curb weight's about 700, gross weight rating about a ton. So
okay.
You have a few problems with your R's and your W's, don't you, Cam? Wongo.
Rongo.
Gross rate.
Gross weight.
Don't you have a job where you speak on the phone a lot?
Yeah, I'm getting dumber since working at home, I think.
If that's even possible.
A couple of words I was trying to spell, and I'm just like, when you type a word so incorrectly, like autocorrect doesn't even save you. It doesn't know what you're fucking talking about.
Where are we doing?
Heavy breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Ron's going to be dead.
Well, speaking of heavy breathing, we've got a little a new segment that we premiered last episode, Colm, that hasn't gone public yet. But are you familiar? Speaking of minis, are you familiar with Top Gear?
Yep, the TV show.
Yep.
Yeah, they do the hot lap in the stock car.
Yep.
Well, we've just ripped off this this sort of concept, but it's basically we're going to get you on the rowing machine, and it's the fastest 100 meters.
All right.
Yeah. Good job.
Oh, yeah. So what happened last week, Colm? We had Alice and Dan on down in Tasmania, and you know how Brian Shaw holds the men's world record for the 100 meters on the rower?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, Alison actually held the world record for the women's on the rower, and I think it's since been beaten. But we asked her to see if she could break it for us live. And she had a good crack at it, and then turns out Cam actually has a concept too hanging in his isolation shed there. So he had a crack. So now we're going to ask all of our guests, and all of us hosts will have a go as well. But yeah, each week we want to try and get our athletes to have a crack at the 100 meters and see what time they can put up.
100 meters is short enough that I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
Cool the rower be.
Will the rower last 100 meters?
Yeah, the rower might have something different to say about that.
That's right. Should we do it now?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Brother. Fuck, this is outstanding, Ron.
Pull that bastard in half.
Bang.
I can't promise anything too good, but I'll give it a go.
Well, Cam's time last week was 15.3. 15.3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 15.3. So which I think Alison shared that like top 90 percentile.
Yeah, so I think Alison got 17.5 last week. 17.6. There you go. So we're just going to do a combined leaderboard, Ken, male and female, or we're going to divvy it up?
Yeah.
Which settings do you want it on?
We can probably. Well, just go maximum, go 10.
Yeah.
And then program a custom 100 meter row, so then it will stop on the time. These are not concept twos. Maybe these have some sort of advantage.
We'll see what happens.
Set a weight plate on his lap. There's a handicap.
I have no idea how this works.
Is this going to hold you up?
Yeah, I'm predicting some sort of mechanical disaster.
Well, Alison nearly shot through the fucking wall and jumped off the seat.
Have you tried again since, Cam?
No.
He's training it now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give it a go.
All right. 100 meters on the path.
I'm probably
100 meters.
You want me to film the time or film Colm?
No, film Colm.
Time at the end, brother.
Film both, eh? No
So
cheating.
just go from the front, maybe, or the back. Yeah, there you go.
Sweet, man.
Get a good shot.
Good shot.
Yeah, bro. Once you start, you start.
Yeah.
God, he's not going to fucking take it
All
out
right,
of the
ready?
equipment behind him.
There we go.
What's this? It's going to be like...
Get it, son.
Let's go.
Sustained row.
Stiff-legged.
No legs.
Legged row.
Holy fuck. He's tearing up the fucking turf.
He's actually rowing the rowing machine.
The wrong way. He's going the wrong way.
The wrong way.
What do we get?
It was 16 seconds.
16 on the button. Ooh, with
There we
no
go.
legs at all.
Yeah.
And he moved my
Gonna
bloody
take-
too.
Rowan moved about 10 meters.
Oh.
That was amazing.
Next time Colm does that, the row's going to have to be dynabolted to the floor.
To the center of the earth.
So is that a win for you, Cam?
I think I'm still in the lead. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
We need a separate leaderboard for people that do it stiff-legged.
Yeah.
Heavy
Hey,
breathing.
feeling Colm?
What's that?
How you feeling?
Gas.
Yes.
Pretty gas.
Dude, that was awesome.
What's that?
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
You
think,
literally did that stiff-legged.
Yeah.
What's that?
You literally did it stiff-legged.
Stiff-legged. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm the winner for rowing the rowing machine.
Poor rower.
I got
Too much horsepower.
some dumbbell.
Yeah, man.
Well, that was your upper body warm up.
The lateral prong.
Hey, Colm, while you're blowing there, so you were on a Aldi ad recently.
Yep.
Yep, that was pretty playing the role of a giant by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll pursue? A bit more acting in the future and stuff like that, or was that just?
I would love to. Like, I really would love to. They like, and honestly, they take so much better care of you than World's Strongest Man does.
Oh yeah.
And like, there's another TV thing I was involved with here, and it's just like they treat you so good. The money's good, and after doing this sort of stuff where you're just in pain all the time, it's a very nice
Change.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's funny, I agree with that, Colm. Nobody here knows it, but I did an acting gig recently that'll show up on television soon.
Yeah.
Which was, but I had a fucking ball with it, and they treat you amazingly. And the pay is amazing. I was like, fucking no wonder Colm's been doing this.
Well, I guess if you are, 6'6", I guess there's a fairly sort of niche market in the sense of, that's your kind of attribute that you can bring.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a unique sort of look. And look at Colm. Colm's TV role, it was almost like a Kiwi Game of Thrones type sort of, fantasy type role. And it looked amazing. It had this huge fight scene. It was really fucking cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's definitely an avenue I'd like to go down. I'm a huge fan of all those kind of fantasy worlds and sci-fi worlds and that, but in the real world, knowing all the details about these different universes means it's absolutely wasted. But when I was there, I could talk about zombie movies, I could talk about anything. The directors, everyone, all was very passionate about it.
Yeah.
So it's it's nice to have that kind of that kind of thing actually be mean something, because otherwise, if you in real life it means nothing.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude. And there's obviously a mate of ours that's done a lot of it over the years. He's 6'10", Ruben de Jong.
Yeah.
He's done Spartacus. He's done some Hollywood films. He was in Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia, and those films. He's done a lot of stuff.
Nathan Jones as well.
Yeah.
He's a big inspiration. When I first got into Strongman, I actually met Ruben at MMA. I remember him giving me a hiding there, inspiring as well. But so I met Matt Rossiter through him. Matt Rossiter was the guy who ran New Zealand's Strongest Man. Just passed away last year, unfortunately.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, like Ruben's done it all. He's done Strongman.
Yep.
Like a bit of powerlifting, MMA,
K1. Yeah.
Yeah, was involved with wrestling for a bit. Still does wrestling now locally. I saw him on like a Facebook ad type thing recently as well. Like did you see that one? He's like a giant Viking with a sword.
No, I missed that. One. The last one I remember him doing was the one for Spates Ale, where he had the shed in his backyard for the beer. That was really cool ad as well.
It's funny though. I bet you felt really appreciated when you're doing this acting thing.
It was unreal. I loved it. I'm like, Strongman fucking hates me.
Yeah.
Found your home.
Start away.
I reckon we could use our gigantic reach that we have here at podcast to get a few more roles for Colm.
Absolutely. We got 35 fans, Colm.
Oh, that's not bad.
I think I'm up to 60 subscribers on my YouTube. So we're really going places, Colm.
I subbed recently on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Can you just watch my episode 15 times just to bump up the numbers?
Rams is the lowest rating episode so
far.
Of anything on YouTube.
Yeah. I watched a few of them.
Yeah. We had fun with Biggie's one, man, with the circus.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, give that one a spin. And when we get over to Adelaide, we all need to get over there. We're going to go down and check out the circus, bro.
Yeah, that looks cool. I better do
Yeah, man, do it.
Yeah, you go, mate.
I'm going to do some questions. His legs are fucked from his no-leg rowing.
Bit of swamp pass. Oh, that might be an opportunity for a segue.
Oh yeah.
Need to thank the
Coleman needs some cross jocks for sure.
Yeah. There we go. So Croc Jocks, our wonderful sponsors. Don't let swamp pass hold you back from performing at your best. Adult sanitary undergarments built for heavyweight strongman. Proud sponsors of Pro Strongman. Look, Reynolds. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Fuck! Look at the like how far he has to press those dumbbells because of his fucking ginormous arms.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's so thick, but he has a
like
really
Lee Shaw just goes like this.
Where's he? I thought you tagged him in this, and he was going to join in. Is he? He's just given up.
He's
he moved to Geelong, shaved his head. What?
No. What pages do you want us to tag you on?
All of them.
All of them.
Whatever you got, brother.
No one else does.
Yeah.
We couldn't get a share out of Rongo for quids.
Yeah. We actually had to pay Rongo to be on our show.
I was watching the Rongo one when I was driving down to Auckland, but so I had it like through the speaker, so I wasn't actually watching.
I'm like, safety first, bro.
Something happened, like that dude pops up. I think you were calling him Scotty or something. And because I couldn't see, I was just like, what the hell?
It was Mason. Fucking Mason from Stand Up Submit, bro.
Oh, was it Mason?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's his weird bedroom side character that he.
Yeah, that was Mace popping into to Spooky's best client.
And I could imagine when without the visual, that must have been very confusing.
Yeah, I really didn't know what was going on.
Turned it off, man.
Dude, I was there and I was confused.
I had a quick look and I just saw the high vis. And I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we've been hacked by North Korea's finest.
So, Colm, what are you drinking there? Is that Mountain Dew or?
It's just some carb powder.
All right. So what's the go with the dumbbell presses, man? What do you got for that?
Same thing. The 6 to 7 RPE, but it's a set of it's 3 sets of 10 to 12.
Yep.
So a bit of play, and he's got me basically doing a little bit of everything every day. So I've already squatted once this week, but safety bar. I've done bench, and I did another kind of incline. So I'm not gonna try to do anything too much, but but it's been good. Like it's another thing where if I was training myself, I would probably just do strict press from the rack because I quite like it. But my left arm is still so much weaker. Whereas just because I have that accountability of them saying no, do the dumbbells. I'll actually do it. It's just one of those things. Like once the ego gets involved, you just can't help it.
Yep, big time. And it's hard when you've been lifting such massive weights in the past to eat some humble pie and eat shit for fucking however long it takes to come back. But you got to do it. It's something I've really had to learn this year, big time. It's definitely worth it long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your log press a couple of weeks ago. So you've got a push jerk style, Colm?
Yeah, I've kind of done all sorts over the years. I used to push jerk.
Yeah.
And then I started getting like knee problems from it. Just bad movement basically. But then, so because I was getting so heavy, strict started to feel good. I started push pressing, and again, because I always wanted to be like Zadrunas, so I was like, I'll just try to get strong in shoulders. And then tore the tricep, which really, I don't know if you can remember, Luke. If you remember that day that I did it, we were warming up as well. And I even said, like, the conditions are not the best today. I should probably take all my lifts down 10 kgs. But I was like, well, my ego won't let me. I'm going to go for a PB. And then I tore it.
And it wasn't even that heavy, bro. Like we all kind of were off that day. It was a fucking hot day. We're in Auckland, and we're on that hill. We were doing it like facing feet down a fucking slope on that piece of timber. So it was horrendous to log press on. I fucking almost, so if you zeroed your opener, you were out. You didn't get a second chance, so you had to make your lifts. I came out and missed 160, belt blew off, had to fucking just quickly clean it before the time ran out. And I managed to get 160 up to save myself. I think you topped out at 170, but blew your tricep off.
Yeah.
And Rongo did a really tough 175, which he'd only just 3 months earlier done that big 192 or something at the Arnold. None of us were on that day. That was terrible.
So that was another example of the ego. Like, I knew, like, we all our warm-ups were off, and I made just one of those amateur mistakes. Couldn't hold back. Whereas the 2 weeks before, I had Joe at the NZ Open, so it was good in that level head. Just hold back and do something.
Having a coach or a handler, someone that is objective, can kind of just step back a little bit and have a look. Really does help. Or having, obviously if you listen to a group of competitors and friends, that you compete with regularly, sometimes you can kind of map it out. But we all know it gets the best of you, particularly max log or something that's real showy as well. We always want to have a go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's the thing, like we all get into it to lift big. So then if someone's telling you, or if you shouldn't really lift big, but that's kind of why you're here. So it can be hard.
When you say you probably look to pull the pin at like 34, 35, how many years away is that now, Colm?
So I'm 31 at the moment, and I'll be 32 in February. But I'll like, that's just kind of what I was thinking. I'll play it by ear. Like, I mean, if someone like say it was really good, and someone was like, you know what, we'll pay you to do this full time, even when I'm 35, I'll be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll take advantage of this. But otherwise, if it's like now that I've seen that what's out there with the acting side of things, I'm sort of like, well, say I hit 35, I could keep digging myself into the ground, like grinding the body down, or the acting and the stunt side of things is so fun. And it actually, like Luke said, like you feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Like there's a big difference at World's Strongest Man. They'll tell you to warm up, they'll rush you to warm up. You'll get out ready to lift. So you're going for like a PB or something. And then they'll say, okay, hang on a second. It'll just be a few minutes. It might be 20 minutes go by. And then they'll suddenly be like, okay, go. And you have to go. So it's like, it's a big stress because you're already, you obviously don't want to blow something out. And you're going for like a PB. It's big high stakes, the highest stakes there are. Whereas say compared to the LD ad, they're like, oh, sorry, like they do the same thing. Like, so they'll rush you, but then they'll be like, okay, well, it's going to take another 10 minutes for the camera. And then someone will come over to hold the thing of ham for me. And it's just a ham. I got no issue holding it, but they've got like everything. It's just like it's so much more organized basically. And I imagine was your thing an ad or a show or something?
Yeah, it was an ad. It was an ad.
Yeah, so it was pretty well organized.
Adult toys.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the crew, the director, they were all like, "Oh, this is your first time. This is fucking. We're gonna have a great time." They're really supportive. Nobody was a dick. Everyone just come up and have a chat.
I've never done this before.
Huh?
This was for croc jocks.
I've never done this before.
Croc jocks.
Croc jocks.
Yeah, big kind. That's my first time.
Yeah, croc jocks.
Yeah, no, but the director, he'd come up, he'd be like, I'll be just standing there. I'd done one thing and the sun was out. So he's like, this guy's probably going to drop dead. And director's coming up going, oh, you cool, man? You all good? Like, you need anything? I'm like, dude, I'm just chilling. I'm fucking easy as. He's like, sweet as. It was really relaxed and chilled, man. It was a really cool atmosphere.
Probably
like I bet after doing those international shows, it would have been a breeze for you, right?
Yeah, dude. Like, it's no different as doing an Arnold Pro or even a Strongman Champions League. Same as like you said, a World's Strongest Man. It's like, okay, hang on, warm up. Oh fuck, there's 150 log there. Go warm up on that quickly, and then come out and we'll fucking smash that out. And then hang on, the lighting's not correct or the camera's not set up yet. And yeah, it's always a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Probably in the film industry, because they're so used to dealing with like Tom Cruise sized humans, and then all of a sudden they got these fucking gigantic guys. Probably just frightened of you and just let you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in and wreck up the place if we don't treat him nice.
Yeah.
Well, they've dealt with Nathan Jones as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the casting agent that found me has worked with Nathan Jones a fair bit in the past. I'm like, fuck, you've been working with a psycho your whole life.
Yeah.
So what was obviously you sort of touched on some of your experience with World's Strongest Man, but what was your actual sort of entry point to that? Because I know with World's Strongest Man, that can be very ad hoc. You'll just get an email 6 weeks out and say, hey, look, can you come over, sort of thing. So how did you actually get linked up or, qualify sort of through that? Well, your first, World's Strongest Man process.
So the first one, like I was pretty lucky. It was kind of like this year in a sense. There was a lot of dropouts, and I had.
This was 2016, Colm.
It was the year we did the Arnold.
Yeah, 2016 in I think you're in Botswana, weren't you? Yeah. So
they had a lot of pullouts. Colin knew me from that Arnold's that we did. They had taken Eben for the Aussie, and then he said they were keen for a Kiwi. He just messaged me on Facebook, something like 5 or 6 weeks before the comp, and was like, hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yep. And then he was like, what's your email? Send him my email. And then I don't know who it is, the producers or organizers, whatever, they get your details, they make you do this, they make you do a medical. So you have to go and do that all yourself.
Yeah.
And then, they send you your tickets and you're away.
So did you do cocaine just before the medical, or did you stop your cocaine usage?
I stopped like a couple hours before, but I knew the doctor, so he also had some medical grade on him. He hooked me up with the
That's it. That's it. That's the only thing you're not allowed to do is cocaine. Everything else is fine, though.
Yeah, everything else is fine.
Yeah, they do have like there is a written policy, but yeah, I can't say I read it.
Well, I don't think anybody probably ever has. And if your initials are EH, you can fail as many ECGs as you like. It's a sub clause in the World's Strongest Man contract.
Yeah. It's funny. I was watching on Netflix. It was just
yeah, big time.
Yeah, I was watching on Netflix just a doco about Thor, and it was narrated by someone from Game of Thrones. So I suppose I hadn't sort of seen it before, but basically they talk about steroids and all this sort of shit, and then they ask him a couple of direct questions. He's, I've never failed a drug test. And then they kept pushing. And then he sort of said, I've used them before. And then he said, can we just stop talking about this? It was very, very awkward. But the way that they positioned it, it was like, what's wrong? Yeah, they test for drugs. Yep, they have a testing policy, and I've never failed a drug test. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's a fucking hard one, because we all know the reality, but general population is still very naive about things, and they still have this fucking judgy attitude. And it's like my answer when I get asked on podcasts a lot is, they go, do those guys use gear? I just go, it's an untested sport. Come up with your own conclusion.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Right, I better do another. I'll do a working set, I guess.
Yeah, do it, bro. Get into it.
Superset it with a 100-meter rope.
So, have you got the leaderboard there now, Cam? We've got 3 times for that now.
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll do a little nice little Google sheet, and I'll get it up there. I'll do some word art. We'll make it look pretty.
Sweet.
I'd like just see if there's any difference between the concept 2 and the roll at Colm. Just
the Ebexi or whatever it was.
Well, his one apparently moves across the room. That's a pretty cool concept.
Matt, to be fair, he was probably losing drive on it. That's in terms of
so what kind of handicap do we give him? Like a -6 seconds or something? He actually did a 10-second row because he didn't use legs either.
Nah, fuck him. That was his own fault. He should have done it better.
They got a rower at last round or at Adonis, Luke?
Yeah, they got 3 at last round. I was going to say this weekend I might do my hundy.
That'd be good.
You got one over in Lord's Shed?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, you need to. You can do. You can superset your log with a fucking row 100-meter on static monsters, mate.
Fuck. I need all the help I can get with my log, so I'm not going to go do anything to take away from it.
So Colm, you did. You were at World's Strongest Man in 2016, and then you went back the following year as well to 2017.
Yeah.
And that was the, we won't go into too much of that, but that was the infamous Eddie Hall year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Both in Botswana.
Yep. So on just the overall, how was it in Botswana? Were the conditions pretty rough, or were you well looked after, or?
They were weather-wise, it was actually very nice. The annoying thing was the first year especially, they didn't when we first got there. Same with the second year. When we first got there, they didn't have any water for us, which was an issue. A lot of guys I don't have to complain because all the veteran guys.
It's a human right, but it's okay. We don't need water.
Yeah, all the veteran, the top pros are all giving it to them, saying, we need water.
Yeah.
You can't drink the tap water there. So that was kind of annoying. And I know when I was speaking to the doctor, he wasn't happy because they didn't have. This wasn't Worlds, but the place we were in Botswana had given, he was asking for medical kits, and they gave it to him. He opened them, and they were the blood pressure cuffs were just like the pump, just nothing else. So it's he had these kits of just junk stuff. They had just obviously never used them.
Wow.
But then they did eventually get it, but it was sort of 3 days deep by then. And the second year was at more of a city, so they had more stuff, but they still was a bit slow on the water and that. But otherwise, picking us all up and stuff from the airport was all good. Everything seemed well in that way. The events in that were all good. Usual story, you don't know what you're actually how much you're actually lifting until the actual day, both because they give you a day to test the equipment the day before you start. But it's kind of like they've got athletes who are the testers for the equipment, but they're also reserve athletes. So you kind of get the impression they're holding back a little bit because they don't want to, they don't want to go hard and then miss out on that spot. So sometimes you'd find those weights, say like in 2017, we had that carry and drag, and
that drag looked brutal.
Yeah, no one finished it. But when they tested in warm up, the guys just like pulled it a little bit, and were like, "Oh yeah, that's good." They didn't actually run through it; just give it a few tugs. I'm like, yeah, that seems like a good weight. And then they end up changing the weights throughout the qualifiers for the other groups, which is because again, the focus is for the TV. It's not necessarily having like the fairest comp, but whatever looks best for the viewers, basically.
That's the reality of worlds, isn't it? And a lot of newbies still sort of are a bit naive about that. But unfortunately, I had that bubble burst for me years ago when I like to believe it was real. But I mean, the athletes are real. The loads are heavy, but the rest it's a television show. It's unfortunately let's be honest. The Arnold World Series is the real deal when it comes to the toughest, heaviest shows on the planet.
Yeah,
but there's no reason why they couldn't run it like a proper comp and film it and cut it up into a TV package. They don't have to film it as a TV production first. I'm sure if they have enough
Strongman
cameras, they can
do a great job of it.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many examples of it where you could film it, you could run it as a comp. As they come off the deck, you get the interview. You like they do at the Olympics. You know what I mean?
The production value and the quality of Strongman Champions League events, they're not quite as top tier anymore because the events aren't quite as heavy and things like that. But their show, their television production and stuff, far superior, man.
Yeah.
You can see why like the wuss stuff would be a draw if they could sort their shit out for an actual show.
Yeah.
And stop ripping off suppliers.
Yeah, like the way they look after the athletes and all that sort of stuff looks pretty well spot on. But yeah, it's just the other side of it that they fuck up.
I think a lot of us, we all aspire to verse the strongest guys in the world. That's the goal. You want to verse the strongest guys in the world, and so we're not really fussed where we do it, but it would be nice just to do it in a somewhat fair, standardized way. Standardized not in the sense of the equipment, but a nice standardized qualifying process and that sort of thing. But I think most of the athletes, they're not. World Strongest Man has that name, but what was it? IFSA back in the day had the better rep as finding the true strongest man.
Because it was done as a proper series. There were qualification legs, there were Grand Prix, and then there was a big final with the top 12 guys from legs all over the world. Effectively, what the Arnold World Series is now. You've got 6 legs around the world or whatever it is, and then the top 10 guys go through and and battle it out at Ohio, which is insanely fucking heavy. So let's be honest. As much as I resisted that concept for years, because I do love World's Strongest Man, and especially the historical ones, the Arnold's the real deal when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I
think now as well with the Arnold, it had the kind of image of just the powerlifting version or the ultra heavy version of Strongman. You can see over the last couple of years, wheel of pain, bag throw, they're just starting to bring in just a couple more traditional kind of more athletic type events to kind of get more well-rounded competition.
That's it. And in the Grand Prix legs, if you like the World Series, it's definitely a lot more of the moving type things. You've still got yoke races and farmers walk races, and and they're super heavy. 180, 190 kilo farmers, 450, 500 kilo yokes. It's not that 753 meter yokes that they were doing at Ohio, but it's definitely more on the traditional strongman side of things, but still super heavy. So it's I think they've sort of woken up a little to that, and it's much more credible.
I'll just still sit.
Do it, brother.
Oh, is that a drink? Yeah, so how's office work today, Luke?
I just had the 5-0 pull up next to me, and I'm sitting in the car running because I got the AC on. I'm like, fuck. I got the fucking
Where's the tube?
glued right in front of me. There they go. Left me alone. Had to get some pencils and Kit Kats.
Oh shit!
How's that feel, Colm?
How's it?
Feels pretty good. He's got me doing like the seated stuff. I don't know, probably for just the first month or something to while I work on that shoulder mobility. Rather than, because I started getting into the habit of just leaning back as well. So my shoulder flexion, like if I go like this, I can force it, but that's kind of where I'm at. My left arm, which is the injured one, like just relax. That's right. I can like force it back, but if I'm pressing, I'll start to do this sort of thing to compensate. So just a month or so, he's got me doing all these different shoulder stuff to get the scapulars moving, which has been good.
Yeah, it's something I had to focus on earlier in the year. Obviously, I'm probably the least mobile person on the planet, and it's definitely helped a lot. But it's funny because what you were just indicating, something Rongo spoke about as well, on the log and that, the leaning back and using that strong chest and front delts versus doing the overhead lifts properly. You know what I mean? It's something that he learned the hard way, same way we, kind of have as well.
Yeah. Especially as you start getting stronger, like you just get tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
But that you can kind of, like everything, like your chest will be getting stronger, so you can just ignore it and keep pushing through. But sometimes I think like a lot of the guys get quite strong just from having that mindset of just pushing through. Like injuries, you just keep pushing through, but eventually it catches up to you and you got to change.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I've got some questions here from those playing along at home. So I don't even know who half these fuckers are because they're all Kiwis. But so Kanosaurus, do you know who that is, Colm?
Yeah, that's one of my clients.
That's one of your boys. He wants to know how someone so fucking large copes with the Northland heat.
I had practice in Aussie. I couldn't handle it in Brisbane.
I was going to say Brisbane's probably hotter than Whangarei anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't know why all the islanders go live up in particularly Kiwis, like go live in like the northern states. Like when you come to Melbourne, it's a little bit more like temperate, a little bit more cooler climate.
Who the fuck would live in Melbourne?
Yeah. Most livable city in the world. And
is it? How's that working out for you?
Lockdownable. Yeah, most lockdownable.
Most lockdownable, most pliable population.
We're just a testing ground. That's all.
So we got one from your former housemate, Mason Douglas Cartwright. So you shared accommodations with him in Brisbane, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to know, is it true that Mason has a bigger pecker than you?
It's true. You have to ask him to send a pic in. We'll both send a pic into the podcast and you can post it up for our fans to decide. This is the point
we needed to get to. This is where we really take off.
This is the sort of content. Yeah. Dick measuring.
All right, so we got one from Biggie. That was inevitable. Biggie, so Colm, you went down to Mount Gambier with Biggie 1 year to do the charity with Steph Davies there, or was it Rasmus with you that year?
Raz.
So Raz, yeah. So you guys went down to Mount Gambier to do the big truck pulls at the Timber Festival for charity?
Yep.
So what happened at the motel, brother?
So basically I got stuck in the bathroom. And I probably thought they were just pranking me, but
we lost him. There we go.
Yeah, I thought they were pranking me, but because I was stuck in there for ages. Like I trying to open the door, it just wouldn't work. And I was thinking, like, do I just try kick the door open or what? And they were saying, like, no, like this is serious. And then I saw they spoke to the hotel owner or something. And then he came back with like a tomahawk or a hatchet and started like hacking the door. That's when I realized
Is this The Shining?
I realized that they were actually serious. Like it was genuinely stuck.
I love his go-to. It's not a screwdriver or something to work on the lock. He comes in with a fucking hatchet. Like, here's Johnny in The Shining.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. Because I remember Jordan kept sending me video updates of you locked in the toilet for like 2 fucking hours.
Well, and I think more importantly though, is Colm missed an opportune moment to do the kick down the door police style move. Because it's very rare do you actually get an opportunity to do that.
Especially in someone else's property.
I just fully thought they were like playing a trick, so I didn't want to, like us being in town, I didn't want them to, like it was a small town, didn't want the local hotel owner to be like, yeah, I'll let them stay there, and this big dude just kicked my door down.
Incredible Hulk fucking smashed up my bathroom.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him go for the door cam and does a demo, just punches his foot through and gets stuck.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? I think I've got one more. Colm's got a lot of fans, turns out.
This is more questions than we've ever had.
Yeah. I know, right? Well, see, this time round, I got prepared and did it the day before.
The
timing
probably helps.
And all right, so I've got one from Josh Montgomery. So he's a client of yours, is that correct?
Yep.
He just wants to know, is he the most annoying client for getting videos from?
No. That's clients always seem to think like if they're sending me constant videos, it's annoying, but it actually makes the job so much easier. Like
I agree.
They always say that. Yeah, they always say like, "Oh, sorry to keep sending you messages," but like it's actually so much better. Like I would rather too many videos than none. It makes it so much easier.
As long as
100% agree.
As long as they crop them fucking down and don't send you the whole.
That is
20-minute fucking setup routine for a 5-second lift.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good point, Colm, because I'm the same with mine. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't want to send you more videos." I'm like, "Send me every fucking video."
Yeah. You see, like the more you watch them, the more things you'll see. The more you can give them tips on what they need to be aware of. Like that's what they're paying for, really. So it's a good.
Yeah. And I actually had the same conversation with my coach because my partner is getting coached by him at the same time as a friend of ours. And she goes, "Oh, you always send him so many bloody messages. Just leave the bastard alone." And I'm like, and we had the exact same sort of conversation. If I don't see the messages to the end of the week, I can't correct it. If I get it that night or after the session, we can work on it straight away. And there's, same when you get a program, you're better off asking a million questions about how do I do this exercise? What does this reps scheme actually mean? Or, as opposed to doing it for 4 weeks fucking wrong, Yeah.
This is it. And I don't know how you run it, Colm or Rahn, or I know some coaches are sort of like, depending on the package or whatever they put together, it's like you have this allotted time to have feedback with your coach and you can openly speak with them. I try to, obviously I don't run a lot of people, but I'm like, you can ask me questions pretty much any time, and if I'm available, I'll get that feedback to you as quick as possible. Send me the videos while you're training, if you can, without too much disruption, and we can work on things that session.
Yeah, that's good. Try to do the same.
Yeah, I prefer like coaching in person, so any way I can make it close to that as possible.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yep. So, Rahn, you're mainly you haven't got too many remote. You've just got that maniac in Northern Territory, right?
Yeah, I got
two of them.
Three remote. Yeah, got 2 up there, and then one guy from Brisbane, Mark, and he's really good.
Cool.
I mean, they all are. Chantel's crazy or whatever, but she's actually really good as a remote client.
Yeah, and she's a good athlete too. So
yeah, loves a drink, all that jazz.
Loves a drink. How many sets you got left on that, Colm?
3 total, so 2 more. I'll do another one.
Do it, brother.
Yeah, I think we're getting close.
I just want to see if he's going to do anything with his fucking mini.
Well, let's just talk him into it now. I don't need to wait for his working sets.
Every time I talk someone into doing something with the car, they tear a bicep.
So is he saying he's gonna deadlift it or
deadlift it? Let's see if he'll roll it for us. But it looks like it's immaculate, the car, so they probably don't want to damage it.
Yeah. Well, no, just do the wheelbarrow. Just pick up the back bumper.
He's just standing there like fucking some cartoon giant with a bumper in his hands.
Yeah, a bit of Lou Ferrigno.
Yes, that was him in the
Was it
bathroom.
Franco Colombo?
Franco, yeah, Franco.
Franco, yeah.
So what are you doing with this mini, Colm? You're going to deadlift it?
Should we?
Yeah.
I don't know how they've got some set up for it apparently.
Very
Get
easily
plate loader over there.
persuaded.
Yeah.
I like that.
Plate loaders on it.
Oh,
Hey,
what?
team.
Literally
It's
put
literally
a
just
barbell
crossbar.
under the.
Hold on. Let me set you
Oh,
right.
fuck yeah.
They're going to deadlift
my-
with an ollie bar under the
my-
table.
Oh, my God.
Is that good, boys?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, man.
All right, I'll take a video too. Yeah, bro. Set her up. Get your feet close.
Holy fuck.
Need to get
Yes!
Fuck, where's my.
Someone screen record this shit.
Ah, I missed it.
No, that's just the front. It's all good. Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Fuck yeah. Jeez.
gas.
What was the RPA of that? Oh?
After the row, everything feels like a 10.
Massive epoch for the last hour.
Yeah, it looked like a movie prop.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was sick, bro.
What's that?
You just hooked the barbell under the fucking toe ball.
Yeah. They said they've done it before. I didn't.
Fucking why not?
How much do you reckon that was in the hands? A rough guess.
180.
We're pretty comfortable.
100. Yeah, probably 180, 200-ish.
No worries.
At least you're honest, because most strongmen go, it's probably 450 in the hands.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Love
There
it.
you go. Well, I think we're about an hour and a half, I think.
This has been a
So-
cracker.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions, Luke? Or was that
I'm pretty good now. I think we've covered off Colm pretty well here. This has been good. What are your
Ron,
thoughts,
do you want to
Ron?
contribute anything?
Nah, excuse me. Nah, I'm pretty good. I actually need to sort my shit and go to work. But
Are you in Melbourne as well?
nah, Beechworth, so like 3 hours north.
Oh, yeah. So
right
no
near the-
lockdown?
No, nothing like what Cam's in. I can cross the border to New South Wales, and life's
yeah.
pretty good over there. Yeah.
Yeah, he works in New South Wales, where the free
Yeah.
people live.
Mm. Yeah, get a little taste of it every week.
Thanks for coming on, Colm, brother. It's been fucking
worries.
it's been really good to have a
Thanks
chat.
for having me.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, apologise for the false start.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
Cool.
Imagine.
All right. Cheers, Colm.
All right,
Excellent.
Colm, we'll talk to you
Oh,
soon,
Colm.
man.
Good to
Yep.
chat with you.
Thanks for having me.
Boys, no worries.
All right, see you, lads.
Enjoy.
Catch us.
Talk soon.
Good shot.
Good shot.